Hello everyone. So today we're just going to continue with the previous lesson. We're just going to continue from where we left off. If you didn't see the first lesson, I mean it's still fine. You can still learn something new in this lesson. But it would be better if you can actually learn how to create this fan that I made in the previous lesson. I'm just going to add maybe like a cloth in front of this fan and sort of add some wind to it to sort of make it move. So the first thing we actually need to create whatever we need to put in front of the fan. On poly modeling, we're gonna select the plane, or you can go to create polygon primitives plane. Okay, I'm just gonna hit W, put it in front like this. We just press F to zoom in on it. So maybe when you're working with Ncloth, you need to have enough subdivisions such that the plane can act the way you want it to act. If I wanted something like this, this is good. But now we just need to adjust the subdivision. On the width, you need a little bit, maybe like that. 5 is enough. But on the length, like on the height or length, we just need to add, making sure that those squares are kind of equal. Okay, I think this looks good. So we just need to rotate this. I'm just gonna go to rotate X, put minus 90. Make sure that it's perfect. Then we're just gonna hit R and scale it up. That's a good size. I'm not sure where I want to attach this. Yeah, I mean, I guess we could do that, but that's so close. Okay, maybe we can put it right there. So I pressed Control D to duplicate it, like that. And Control D again. I guess maybe I should edit this. I press one vertex, I press B. Press B allows you to select select sort of a bunch of the vertices. So I'm holding B and dragging my left click to increase or decrease the size of the selection. So right now I think I'm just gonna do that. Something like that. I just wanted to match with this cylinder, or this like fan cage thing. I don't know what it's called. But I think you understand what I'm trying to do. So something like that. I'm not going to worry too much about this part. But however, it is better just to have your topology like squared off. But in this case, I'm not going to do it. As a matter of fact, maybe let me do it in a different way. But I mean, I guess this way you learned about the soft selection. It's just that it wasn't good for this purpose. Maybe what I can do is I can right click, select faces, right? And then I can select maybe these faces. No, not this one. Yeah, that face, this face, that face, this face. And then I just hit backspace to delete. And then now, oh yeah, like it's showing this because my motion blur is still on. Let me just deselect those. And then I'm just gonna select these vertices and just align them. So maybe this one, put it over here. I think this is I think this is better than what I did before, just in terms of like keeping the topology, somewhat. I think this was a better way, because it's sort of keeping the plane in a better shape than what I did before. Yeah, I feel like that's way better than what I did, like what I had done before. Okay, so instead of me doing what I did there all over again, I'm just gonna use the same model. First, okay, I'm changing the center of gravity. I press D, and then now I can move the center of gravity, or the orientation, not the center of gravity. The orientation, and then I press D again to remove that. Now I'm just gonna scale this down a little bit, like this. I'm just gonna move it down. Then I'm just gonna move this up like that. Perfect. And then I'm just gonna duplicate this one. I don't need this anymore. I'm just gonna put this over here. Then I'm gonna use my scale to invert it like that. I don't need it to be symmetrical or anything. This is what I just wanted, really. So I didn't really need it to be symmetrical or anything. All right, now I'm gonna select these, and I'm gonna go to under the modeling menu set. I'm gonna select mesh, combine, like that. Okay. Now we're pretty much done in terms of like making. At first I thought I was just gonna make like one cloth, but I decided to make like 3 of these strips. I think they'll be more interesting. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna right click, select vertex, hit 4, so that I can just see the wireframe of the models. I'm gonna select these top vertices like that of each plane. As I'm selecting, I'm holding shift and control so that it keeps on selecting more vertices. Right, and I'm gonna hit 5 to go back to the previous display. When I've combined them, I need to go to effects menu set, right here, FX for effects, then go to Ncloth and then create Ncloth. Right now, when you play the animation, they should just fall off, right? If they're falling off, you're on the right track. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select vertex. You need to go to N constraint, and then you need to select transform constraint. So now when I hit play, they're not gonna fall like that, but obviously they're not moving because there's no wind. All right, so now what we need to do is we need to go to Ncloth right here, like on the outliner. If you select Ncloth, so on Ncloth you go to nucleus. Okay, under nucleus there's this part that this tab or this category that says gravity and wind. Gravity at 9.8 is fine, but we need to adjust the wind speed and the direction and all that, air density. But before we do that, we're just gonna go to NClock Shape 1, hit presets, because as you can tell, if you hit play, let me just show you again. You see that it's stretching. We don't really want it to stretch, so we have to select a material type that doesn't stretch in that way. Maybe silk. I think silk is used for flex. I think we replace So when you hit play, it's not really doing it as much. Okay. So now under nucleus on gravity and wind, let's put on wind, maybe let's put 1. No, I think 1 will be fine. Let's put 1 and then let's play it and see what happens. It's moving a little bit. Let's see. So right now the wind direction is on 1, it's on x-axis because there's 1 0 0. So this is XYZ. That's how it kind of works, XYZ. So if we look on our little gizmo here, okay, so the x-axis is actually going this direction, which is not the right wind direction we want. But anyway, let me just do it. Maybe let me put 10 so that I can show you what I mean. Like the wind is going the wrong way. You see that? I mean, it's working, but it's going the wrong way. So it needs to go on the z-axis, and you see this z here, the z is going this way. So here we need to put -1, because if you put 1, it's gonna go the wrong way. It's gonna go the opposite way. Like if you play it, you see, because it's 1, because that's where the z plus is facing. The z minus is facing the other way. So we need to put -1, and then this should correct. So if I play, perfect. So basically that's pretty much it. But obviously, I mean, it might not look this exact way, and I noticed that they are colliding. They are sort of colliding with they are not colliding with the objects around them. Let me see. Like if I stop it, let's see. You see, it's going through it. Yeah, the cool thing is while it's playing, you can actually change the settings as it's playing. You know, that way you can actually see how it's like how the wind field is reacting with the object. But anyway, so if I click the planes, I can go to, let me see, I have to select an option for self collision. Let me go to, is it nucleus? Let me just check. Nucleus, collisions, collide. Okay, self collide is there, collide is there. But now this, I think this object, I think we need to select all these objects, and then we need to go to Ncloth and select create passive collider. Okay, so that way they can actually react. I think because like that time when I put the reverse, they just went through the fan. And I think to just show you what I mean, wind direction. Oh, that's why it was acting crazy. So let me put +1. It was actually acting crazy. Like it was acting the wrong way because I had selected 1 on x-axis and 1 on z-axis. So it was also going sideways, which is also, if that's what you want, that's how you do it. There's wind coming from the right to the left, and also wind coming from the, like from this side, from like behind the fan to the front. So if that's what you want, I mean, that's what you would do. You would put 1 on the x-axis and 1 on the and -1 on the z-axis. But for now, I just want to show you the self collide and the way that it is going to collide with the fan, like the way the planes are going to collide with the fan. Yeah, it's gonna act crazy, and it's actually gonna struggle to process, because yeah. Anyway, now it's looking weird. Anyway, that's self collide and collide. Because self collide, I think I need to explain it because I keep on messing it up. Self collision, basically, it allows the actual plane itself to collide with itself. Because sometimes if this, like for example, if it goes up, it might actually just go through its own geometry. So you need to select self collide so that it doesn't go through itself. I think if you want it realistic, both of these should be checked. collide and self-collide. Okay, so for the purposes of this tutorial, let me just try to get it to look right. -1. You know what? I can even put, let's see, Xaxis. I can even put like -0.5, you know, just to make it interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Because I feel like if I don't put anything on the X-axis, it's just gonna look a bit linear. Let me see. It's okay, I guess. Oh, that one is stuck. Let me see. So the other thing I noticed is that, I mean, they're moving too quickly. And the fan is just starting. So what we need to do is, on the first frame, I think, let me just play this back. I think they'll start to move it around frame 40. So maybe at frame 1, the wind speed should be at 0. So I'm gonna right click that, select set key. Then I'm gonna move to maybe frame 20. Actually, no. Let me just go ahead and put this, and then now I'm gonna put 7. Let's see how that looks. Okay, it's still going too fast because it means just like it means from frame 1 to frame 40, it's going from 0 to 7. Maybe it's not a good idea. Maybe I should put it on frame 30. I should put 1, so that it goes from here to 1, and then from 30 to 40 it just jumps to 7. So it's gonna look like that. So at least it will give you time. It will give time for the wind to actually generate. Yeah, I think this is good. Although the way the planes are acting, it's they in terms of scale, that's not really realistic unless if this fan is huge, because it's moving so slow. And the way we can fix that, I think we can add some we can actually maybe increase the wind speed, maybe, so that it can act sort of realistic. Maybe let's add about 20 and just type in 20 and see how it looks. Yeah, kind of like that. Yep. I mean, and sometimes I'm not gonna act as if like I know everything. Some of these sliders, sometimes you just need to tweak them, you know, and see what they do. I know I said this before in my other lesson, because I mean that's how sometimes you can just see what an option does. I mean, that like doesn't mean that you have to know exactly what every slider does. For example, if I add wind noise, usually, let's see, yeah, it looks like it's noisy, as in like it looks like the wind is affecting the planes from all directions. I guess that's what I wanted to do that time with adding another direction, but I guess this one makes it, I think it makes the wind rough. I guess it makes it react to the planes more like randomly and spontaneous, which is maybe something you might want, or maybe you just want a clean direction. Maybe it really depends with what you want to make. I mean, gravity, we all know what gravity does. If you put 0 gravity, it's not gonna have gravity. Or for example, if you put like -9 gravity, let me see, Yep, it's just gonna start going up. So -9 gravity without the wind, it's just literally gonna start falling up, as you can see. Obviously that's not the way they reward, but sometimes you might want that, so the option is there. There's also gravity direction, you know, even if there's no wind. Like right now there's no wind because I put the wind direction on 0. The gravity, I can even put this as on Y as 1, and then it's gonna fall up just like that. So yeah, hopefully, I mean, if you guys have any questions, I'm willing to answer them, and also like make other tutorials based on like effects, because I mean there are so many things you can do. I am going to be making a water simulation tutorial really soon, because I know that on the previous, not on the previous tutorial, but on the other watercolor tutorial that I made, someone wanted me to make, they thought that the tutorial was for water, but then I was just making the glass. So I think I should do that tutorial it's actually very simple. So I think for my next tutorial, maybe I'm gonna do that, but I think I want to focus more on the basic tutorials, because I feel like there's so many people who just want to get started, because once you get started, some of these things you can like figure them out on your own, and you know, you can just learn more stuff from there. But I think getting started is the most difficult part. So I hope this tutorial was helpful. You can leave your questions in the comments, and I'll see you next time.